Picked up a few sleds. One of them's out on the trailer. I don't know if you'll be able to see her or not out there, but yeah, right there. She's got to go into the shop. Got these two. Picked this one up this past spring. It's the end of November right now, 2022. That's a 2022 model year Skidoo Renegade. It's a 600R. I only got a couple hundred miles on it. We are new to snowmobiling. I've done it a little bit as a kid throughout the years, but don't have any real experience at all with it. And then we picked up a similar sled. This is a 2017 MXZ, and this is for my wife. She does not like the pink and wants to personalize it a little bit herself. So what I'm going to do on this video is just remove those decals. Yeah, the plan here is to remove the pink decals, the wrap on this, and all the Bumblebee and the X and the Skidoo X and the Team Skidoo. And we're gonna, for now, until I get the new wrap, we're gonna leave the warning stickers, the identification decal there, the Rev XP, and that kind of stuff. We're gonna take those hand guards off too, again, because my wife doesn't like the pink. She wants to personalize it a bit for herself. It took me a second to find it. Obviously, I'm still working on cleaning the garage, but what we've got here, same thing I used for that ham radio trailer that I built to remove the old decals, just a Wagner heat gun. Warm those decals up and they should all come right off. And again, I'm going to take everything off, not the BRP, but the Skidoo stuff, not the registration, the other decals. I'm hoping to get this new one ordered before I have to put the other decal on there. But yeah, so I'm just going to get started with the heat gun and go at it. All right, I've only been at this for a couple of minutes, and you can see these decals come off pretty easy. They're really, really thick. I don't know who the manufacturer of this kit was, but the decals seem to be pretty high quality. There's a couple of things that weren't done the way I would have done them. You can kind of see here how the decal had kind of bubbled over this crease. And same here. This one was actually holding water in this entire section here. So when I apply the new kit, I intend on warming those decals up and then just stretching them into these corners and letting them cool that way so that we can avoid those holes. And then obviously you can see the edge here. I'll be going over this with some rubbing alcohol and probably some Goo Gun to get the really hard stuff off of there. But I've only been doing this for, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes, and I've got all that off already. This warning decal started coming off already once I started applying heat. So I'll probably just take that off too. I'm going to leave this guy on there for now, but all that stuff will come off. We'll keep going at it. Easy peasy. All that glue will come off with. All right, right, on the other side here, you can kind of see that I was also holding water. I don't know that I'm going to be able to do a better job, but I'm going to try when I apply the new ones to heat them up. And then here again, you can kind of see where the sticker was adhering and where it wasn't. Again, I think heating these up before I remove them will help. So I'm trying to get these stickers are a lot harder to get off. So I might just leave them so I don't screw them up. I got a couple up there yet to get. And then those big ones back there, I'm going to try to get off there as well. All right. Decals actually came off. The ones on the plastic there came off really easy. That adhesive, it's the same material for the stickers, but these stickers are the same, but they're different than what the decal itself is. But they adhered a little bit better, but once you get up and under them, you can get at it pretty good. So I got to figure out how to get the windshield off. I've got one more big decal here. We're going to get rid of these. The guy I bought this from said those mirrors don't work very well anyway. And I think we're going to end up buying mitts for my wife, and I'll show you those here before I'm done. But I'm going to try to get this guy off, but I was having a hard time, and I didn't want to damage it. And then obviously there's those ones right there too. So we'll see. I've got to do these decals on the other side yet. And that's about it. So I'm almost done here, and I am 30 minutes maybe. It took me longer to find the heat gun than it's taken me to do the work. So, all right, I got all the decals off. I still got some cleanup to do. That goo gun seems to be doing most of what it needs. Got some of that gunk, that adhesive that was here. The edges here, you can see where the decals were defined. I don't know how much I care about that. It comes off, but it's a lot of work. Took these off here. My wife didn't want those. I think we're gonna get her, like I said, a pair of those muffs. I got a set on the wall actually over there for my sled. These grommets were in here. That windshield, if you didn't know, just holds in with a couple of friction clamps, clips, whatever you want to call them, in these rubber grommets. Pulled those off. There's decal underneath these, so I wanted to get that off. Excuse me. Other than that, like I said, I got to still wipe the machine down. I think I'm done for the day. Got to work on some other projects, but it actually doesn't look bad, just as a flat black machine either. So yeah, I don't know. All in, I think at this point I've been out here a couple hours. Didn't take long to get the decals off. You can see I haven't cleaned this side up yet, so you can still kind of see the ghosting of those other decals, but you don't really see it if you go to this side here. Maybe a little bit, but obviously you still got adhesive to get removed. But that goo gun works just fine. So gotta take care of this. Other than that, yeah, progress. Decal removal took a half hour, maybe 45 minutes. I spent an hour and a half since then taking off those deflectors with the mirrors there and farting around with the goo gun and maybe getting sidetracked here and there picking some of this stuff up. But all right, so the wife and I went to a website called Arctic FX. We've seen some other people do some wraps from here. Web interface seemed the most stable. Some of the other companies that we ran across had a limited set of snowmobiles that they supported, so they might only support the last couple of years. This website, this company seems to support quite a few sleds going back fairly far. So I'm not going to give you a full look into this. I'm just going to run through a real quick just example of what it looks like. Basically, we went in here. We went to Sled, we clicked go, waiting for the internet. And then once we're here, we've got a Skidoo, so we'll just pull up, well, actually pull up mine. So we've got a Skidoo, Gen 4. I think I've got no, I don't have the narrow body. I think I've got a wide body. And then I've got a Renegade Enduro. So yeah, this is, without the windshield, this is roughly what my sled looks like. So from here, you can kind of scroll through a bunch of predetermined designs. So here they got an American flag. We've got, I kind of dig that, to be honest. If I didn't have the awesome blue and manta green that I already do, that's the kind of sled I'd be rolling around with, but that's just me. So let's just, let's take this Justin Thomas Vanquish design and let's customize it. So we go up here, we go to next. And they give you, this took us a few minutes to figure out. They've got a main color palette, which is all of their colors. And then they have a Skidoo color palette. And these are the official Skidoo colors. And what we didn't realize initially is all of these other colors are available. It's just that they dim out what isn't a Skidoo default. So this manta green color here is the manta green that Skidoo does their other parts in, versus here you might have to guess which of these blues and yellows are the one that you want. So if I switch to the Skidoo color palette here, you can see that out of this design I've got 6 different areas and 2 logos that I can customize. So we look at this black area here, and if you just hover over it, you'll see that it's flashing black and white. So we're going to select this, and let's just for giggles, select this manta green. So now that changes that color. Now if I click this blue and I hover over it, we can see what panels we're going to color with this. So we could select, say, this blue. So we're going with that octane blue. We've got that green. Here's the parts that are this polar blue. To me it looks black, but so we can either go with this color here, or we can go with a black. I think the black actually looks pretty slick, so let's go with that. Design 4. Just again, just hovering over the section tells you with the flashing what section you're doing. So we can select that. We can do more manta green. That's a little bit. We could go red. That just clashes, in my opinion. I don't like any of these. Let's just say I wanted something more pastel, like a pink. You could do that. So you don't have to stick to one color palette or another. So just for giggles here, we're going to call this gumdrop or something. I don't know. Going to the white here, shows us where we're highlighting that. I actually think I like that as white. Go to this polar blue. So that obviously doesn't fit our color palette. So we're going to select that. Look at our Skidoo colors. Yellow obviously clashes. This clashes. That polar blue. Sorry, so let's find something else in our color palette here. That hot pink flashes. Turquoise clashes. Well, you know what? We'll go back to Skidoo. We'll select the same color. So we're just basically filling some things in. And then we've got our 2 logo colors. Now, I'm going to actually do nothing on these because I'll show you. In many places, you have to have a registration number on your machine. Some places, you need to do it on that lower panel. I've seen a lot of Canadian sleds with their registration decal in that lower panel. Here in Minnesota, we have to print our registration decals at a certain height and a certain character width. And then the state annual tag has to go next to it. And we have to put that in the upper fender region of the sled. So basically right here is the best place for that. So what we were able to do with my wife's sled is actually request that they
remove all these logos, because I'll be honest, I'm not a Fox Racing guy. I don't know who this is. I don't know any of these logos. So when you get to the next step, well, we'll go here. We got a 2022 Ski-Doo Trail Gen 4 wide. Apparently, all right, we'll just say I've got a Mach-Z Turbo 900. So we'll just run with that. Does ours have a pull cord? We'll say no. This question is important because they will cut the decals out in a certain way where the pull cord would go, if you've got one. So now here, you can add logos to your sled. So if you're a racer, you want to add some logos. If you just want to add your YouTube channel information. So maybe I wanted to do an ATV foo or a snow foo logo of some sort on here. I don't want to, but we could. The other thing you can do is say all logos. And they will remove all of the custom logos. So whoever's design this is, the Fox logo, all that other stuff, they will happily remove. Now up here in this area here, we can say Minnesota registration number. And we'll put this here. Now I will say that it should be underneath where Arctic FX is in the example. And so here we'll say registration number under where Arctic FX logo is in sample upper fender area each side. Still can't type. So we'll say that. We go to next. So they'll just charge us $10 to add our registration number here. One thing I didn't do, they did a good job of centering it. And in our final sample, I should have had them move it forward as far as possible, because Minnesota requires us to put this decal as far back as possible, in front of the number on either side, to the rear of the machine. So in my wife's machine, and you might see that later in the video, her registration, the annual sticker that changes, kind of hangs off the top corner, kind of hangs off one of the body panels. So it is what it is, but you get it. So, and then you go in here, you can save, you create an account, you can save this design. And let's say you hit a tree or something and you need them to reprint a panel. They will actually reprint any of these panels for you as long as you've got your design saved and they can get to it. So in this case, you can say you want all of these pieces. So we can say classic vinyl with gloss. With my wife, we went with classic vinyl with a matte finish. I've not done the prismatic. I think there's a YouTuber out there named Amy Marie that I suspect she has a prismatic color. If you haven't seen her YouTube channel, check it out. They do a lot of snowmobiling up in Canada, to and from their cabin. They do a lot of mountain sledding. We don't do that here. We don't have any mountains. We have hills. And we didn't pop for the extra money on this, so we just went with a matte finish. And then here you can just start checking the box on what parts you want. So if you don't want to do the whole side of the machine, you just want to do the top, you can do that. And if you have to come back and just order part of this, you can. So we actually ended up ordering the whole gosh darn kit. This is kind of what we ended up with. Again, we asked them for the logo. They were really great about working with us to get the logo and the registration and stuff. We did, I'm not including it here, but in the notes we did include what the registration number was so that they knew that ahead of time. And then the rest of this video, we'll go on to walk you through, or at least show you my wife and I fumbling around trying to get this installed. This one is a little bit more expensive. It wasn't quite the same sled, but ours was $495 if I remember correctly. So this looks like this sled is just a little bit more, but I suspect it's because there's a few more pieces. So back to the rest of this video. I'm going to end up cutting this video short here. We're already at 20 minutes long, and I don't think anybody wants to sit through a longer video than this. So on the screen, I've got what we actually ordered from Arctic FX, and we'll show installation of that and show what it looks like when it's all said and done in the next video. The next video should be a little bit shorter, and then we'll get into riding. Thanks for watching. If you can, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon if you want to get notified when I post videos. I don't post a lot very frequently, but I do enjoy doing this, and I really appreciate the community around the videos I've created. So thanks for watching, and have a great time.